What's up, Mike Acosta here at the 2007 Remix Hotel show here in New York City, showing the new MV 8800. We showed it at NAMM for 2007 and kind of giving a little bit more in-depth run through on the new machine. We got it running basically into an SSL 4000G plus console here, so that's a really nice advantage in busting out the tracks out of the MV. So we're using the output expander on the back, which gives you an additional 6 analog outs. So you can basically have 8 tracks coming out of the MV, and then you can bust it out onto a console and then run it into another system if you want. Um, so some of the things as far as like how you sequence and how you handle samples on here, um, it's really simple. The workflow is really great on it. You can pretty much take any track that you got in here, load up some drum sounds. Let's see if we got so what I'll do is I'll just lay down a simple beat real quick and then show you some of the quantizing features of the MV, which is really cool. What makes the workflow on it so great. And then what we can do is, what I did was I popped this into a rehearsal mode. So once I'm in the rehearsal mode, I can try out other sounds. Bring this back in. Okay, so just real simple, so right now what we got is basically, a grid input quantize setup. The cool thing is that with the MV, we can pretty much change it at any time. So if I want to shut it off, then now it's just playing freehand, just the way that I played it exactly. Now if I want, I can put it right back on grid. We can adjust the strength of the grid, so basically how tight that quantize is going to be. Up to 100%. Again, we don't want it too robotic, so we want to keep that human feel, so usually I like to drop it back to 50%, and then I'll leave it right there. Another cool thing, we can even do it in real time, is we can use shuffle. So now you can hear the shuffling of the drums all in real time. And you still have control over the percentage of the strength of the shuffle, how much you want it to shuffle, the resolution of the shuffle, and even the rate that it's shuffling at. So you got a lot of control, and the cool thing is that this is all happening in real time. These are some things that you cannot do on an MPC. So for guys that are looking for that feel and everything, you don't have to process anything. This is all real time. You can try it out, and it's non-destructive. So if you want to go right back, pop it right back in the grid, and it's right back on that 16th note. And we can just take the strength and drop it back again, back down to 50% if we want. Okay. Now another cool thing too, for some guys that are using Pro Tools with the MV, if you lay down a single track like this, you can also do some cool things using the split note function. So what I can do is highlight the track that I just did, right click on it, and then I can bust split notes. Bam. And if you notice right down here at the bottom, every single note or drum sound from that track that I did is now on its own individual track. So now I can take this and mute parts out. This makes it really easy if you're basically busting this out to like an external DAW. So whether you're tracking out to Logic, Cubase, anything like that, it's really easy to take control of your tracks and then have everything separated for a nice mix. Some of the other things that stand out with the MV is like if you're working with drum loops and stuff. So you can take a drum break like this, and then you got a really cool auto chop function on the MV. So you take the auto chop, you can divide this up by divisions, or by beat, or even by level, which just looks at the transients. So for something like this, I like using the division mode like this. So then what you can do is hit assign the patch, and now you come down, you basically tell this to go to part 16, and instantly right down here you notice in our instrument section now, there's there's that break already sliced up and put in as an instrument for me to play now, track as a, as a new drum track. The editing on here is really cool. So like, say if you're right here in sample editing, here's all the slices, so you just hit the pad. And it's got some cool features now that we've added in with the 8800. So if you hear that little pop, now you can just pull this up and do search zero cross. And then that pop is gone. And you can pretty much hit the next, sample and then do the same thing, search zero cross. So this now eliminates you having to go to an external wave editor and having to do all your stuff there to clean up your samples and then bringing them back in. So again, saving time. And now you can just make your adjustments on your chops here by using the markers so you can get it tighter. And then you go to the next snare over here, take this, slice this, bring it in. And this one here, if you want, you can even take it and reverse it. And then once you have this all set up, now you can basically have it on the track. And when you have this on the track, and then now record this stuff, and now you've got a whole new, drum track, taking that loop, breaking it up into pieces, and now basically resequencing it in a different way. Another thing that's cool with the MV is also how you can work, besides just using, drum loops and breaking those up. You can pretty much take any type of like old school drum sounds, so for, pretty much everybody that's doing hip hop likes to take some sort of an old record or something. So you can take something like this and still do the chop on that as well, auto chop. But on my divisions here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this up into 16 parts so that it covers all pads. And you'll notice how fast. Okay, so this is cool because now I'm in this mode here. I can actually preview all the slices and the samples and everything of what my chop would sound like. And if I don't like it, I can always go back, chop, and then, auto chop again and use another method, if I want to do it by beat or by level. And again, right back here. So these are, another cool way that this does the chop function and everything. So, MPC 2500, you can kind of do the chop shop, but again, when you do that, it doesn't allow you to basically preview all your samples and all your chops in real time before you go and assign it as an instrument. In 2500, it's basically whatever region is selected, all 16 pads play that same region, and you got to use the value wheel and scroll through the different regions. So it's not the same as being able to preview all your sounds and get a feel for what you're going to play or how you want to chop it.